Hi, I'm Malcolm Washington, the director of The Piano Lesson.
I'm John David Washington.
I'm Danielle Deadweiler.
I'm Ray Fisher.
I'm Corey Hawkins.
And I'm Michael Potts.
In our new film, The Piano Lesson, ancestors play a big role in the story.
And today, we're going to talk about our experiences with our own ancestors.
In my dreams, I've definitely been visited by family members. My grandmother, who's no longer with us, I've had a few dreams about her, and they're actually really heartfelt and really inspiring. So I'd like to think that that's her, visiting me in that space.
I also had an experience like that. The day we wrapped Straight Outta Compton, my grandmother passed, but the morning before, I had a dream about her, and with her, sat down, had a beautiful talk.
That's a gift, right? When you get that extra moment.
Yeah. It's a very important scene. It's the culmination of a lot of the piece. And I remember the day we were shooting it. It was a thunderstorm. It was lightning outside, and I just remember thinking, it's time to sort of give over to it and see what's possible. And watching what these two were doing in that moment, and it was beautiful and cathartic experience.
And I think the practical elements, right? Things were shaking on set when we were filming, lights were flashing, bulbs popping, people are throwing water, having to protect the candle, right? There's all these very real and very physical things. People were getting thrown. John David getting thrown down the steps.
The emotions, there was a lot of stretching and physical labor too that went into that.
Well, I had so much faith in our lead actor in that moment because he'd done some really, really gigantic movies. So I thought, on our little film.
He could just smash him up against the wall.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I heard him say he enjoyed that kind of stuff.
Who
Yeah,
said that?
you invited it, right?
I did,
I thought it was an invitation.
For the team.
Right.
There was a moment when we're blessing the piano, and I got a note from Malcolm, and I had a little bottle of holy water in my hand, and I look over, and I'm going for it. I'm just throwing the water everywhere. I look over, and I turn, and Sam Jackson is sitting there with water all over his face. And Michael Potts is and they're both looking at me like, what are you doing?
It was choreographed chaos, right? And just having that, it gave us, at least me, a lot to work with in just the observing and the experiencing, what the hell is actually happening in this house? This place may truly be haunted.
And so much credit to y'all, despite all of these, kind of artificial things that we're putting into the scene to continue to stay present in the moment.
Well, yeah, I just think it's when you talk about so much chaos, everybody had to come into the scene with a surrendering, right? It's an overwhelming, drowning nature of being in an exorcism and a possession.
I love that moment too because it's the brother-sister link, and it's throughout the course of the movie, y'all are marching towards each other for what we expect to be a confrontation, but ultimately ends in a hug.
And in that moment, it is
It's
electric in that we are both on the same accord and must go into this thing together.
And we drop the sound
even though we
out,
are
and it's
separate.
just the breathing, the connection between y'all. I think it's great.
Yeah.